ready to go at the Garden, and just before tip, we send it over to A.J. Ross.
Andrew, you've probably heard the second time around is so much better. I'm not talking about the song by Shalimar. I'm talking about Rick Pitino's Midas touch on teams in his second season coaching them. During his time with Boston U, Providence, Kentucky, Louisville, Iona, each second season with Pitino saw those teams soar to 20-plus wins, and this St. John's team is trending to do the same. They've won their last 13 of 14, 7 straight league contests, and this is the best start for St. John's in 40 years. So Pitino's history and Shalimar have a say in this current trend. The best is yet to come, guys.
I love it, AJ. Thank you so much. As we take a look at the starting lineups, and for St. John's, Davon Smith is back, but he will come off the bench. He's been sidelined with a right shoulder injury, so Simeon Wiltshire will stay in the starting lineup. St. John's on Retro Day, wearing their uniform straight out of the 90s. A tribute to the Felipe Lopez days, and it will be Providence basketball. There's Kim English, the second-year head coach of the Friars. They've won 2 in a row, including Tuesday's win on the road at Seton Hall. Our officials today, John Gaffney, Lamar Simpson, and Nathan Farrell. Issue with the shot clock here, and that is the delay. Big crowd here at the Garden for a noon tip-off. And I think we're ready.
And man-to-man defense for St. John's, primarily one of the best in the country, according to Ken Palm, number 4 in defensive efficiency. They are tough to score on because they switch everything very effectively.
Here's Jaden Pierre with the shot clock down to 2. They don't see it, and it's a shot clock violation.
And that's what we were talking about. We talked with Rick Pitino before the game. He said what makes them so good defensively is they can switch 1 through 5 and edge of 4. If he has to guard a point guard, he can guard a point guard. And that's what makes them so effective. But they're at the top of the country in steals and points off turnovers. This is something they do. They disrupt you.
Kim English told us before the game he wants to try to limit the turnovers to 10 today. 1 possession, 1 turnover for the Friars. R.J. Lewis for 3.
Well, you want to talk about something that is hard to find for St. John's. They're only averaging 4 threes a game in Big East games. They only have 1 guy on the team shooting over 30% in the Big East. They need those 3-point shots. They've done it without it so far.
They hit 6 of them in Tuesday's win at Georgetown. An absolute blowout down in our nation's capital.
Take a look at this Providence. They haven't been able to get in the paint, not 1 second.
Corey Floyd will dribble it back out. Now Floyd inside, off glass for 2. And we have a whistle and a stoppage.
I think Rick Pitino was out of the box. It looks to me like that's what they're talking about.
Something is wrong with the shot clock. John Gaffney telling us. And they're going to go to the monitor and try to sort things out. See if we can take a look at this last play. Looked okay there.
Yeah, that looked okay. Did something happen before that? Because maybe. I was a little surprised, I'll be honest with you, when I saw there was 14 left on the shot clock. I was like, boy, they seemed like they had the ball a long time. I agree, the end of it looked fine, but I think early on something happened. Yeah, I mean, at this point, everything is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it went back to 25. That's the problem.
Yeah, like I said, when I saw Floyd drive it and there was 14 left, I said, hey, It's been a long possession.
All right, while we have a moment, let's check out the keys to the game, brought to you by Fresh Pet.
Well, for Providence, on the first game they lost by 2 and they got destroyed on the glass. St. John's a tremendous offensive rebounding team. They have to rebound. They also are going to need to make threes because getting it in the lane against this team is very hard. St. John's, keep up the pressure. They force turnovers. They force 16.5 turnovers a game. They get transition out of it. That's what they want, and they need to establish Zuby Ejiofor in the paint. They don't have a good matchup for him. Arunce's much improved, but Ejiofor, one of the best big guys in the country.
126th meeting all time. The first one came back in 1927. Game was played in Brooklyn, and of late, the last 6 meetings decided by 5 points or fewer. Lamar Simpson came over to tell us they are still looking at the shot clock. It might take these points off the board.
For a shot clock and timing error. We have fixed that. We have no basket. It'll be St. John's ball underneath Providence is basket.
Yep. Just got the explanation from Nathan Farrell, and it did take the points off the board.
I'm glad my body clock was at least working. And I felt like it was a long position. I was like, what? Only there's 14. It ends up being obviously a shot clock violation. And the reason why they've had 2 shot clock violations is because they cannot get the ball in the paint at all right now.
The score is St. John's 3, Providence 0.
So they called it a shot clock violation, which is tough for Providence because you look up at the clock and you see 14, you're thinking, I'm good.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Kim English cannot be happy with the shot clock operator right now. I think that's who he was just looking at. And, you know, especially when you go on the road and those things happen, you always, but obviously nothing happened suspiciously.
And now they're having trouble resetting the shot clock from 20 to 30. All right, they've got it, and we may have some basketball. Tough break for the Friars, and the shot clock did not start. Here we go. Well, the Knicks host the Lakers at 8:30 tonight here at the Garden. Right now, they might have to push back the tip.
Maybe the 24-second clock works. We could do that.
All the buzz and all the hype pregame. And we wait.
We've gone a little stagnant, that's for sure.
You have any stories you want to tell? Well, they did meet back on December 20th in Providence. We showed you that incredible buzzer beater at the top of our broadcast with Zuby Ejiofor, the putback. Tale of 2 halves, really, as St. John's came to life in that second half. They were down by as many as 16 points up in Providence before winning by 2.
Yeah, I mean, they destroyed them on the glass. They had 23-4 second chance points in that game, 18 offensive rebounds. And that's what St. John's does. One of the best in the country at that. They feast on it. I don't know, maybe should I tell the story about how I went when I had a top 10 team in Villanova in 1996. We went down to Rupp Arena and played Rick Pitino and destroyed us. Not a good memory, but
if you want to tell that story,
yes, you know, what the heck?
Makes you feel better.
No, it's like cathartic. I got to get it out. I haven't talked about it in a long time. It makes me feel better. Get it off my chest.
Yeah. Now, with this delay, we're going to take a break. 18:46 to go, we think. And we'll be back right after this.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Fresh Pet. It's not dog food, it's food food. By Rinvoque and by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
Rick Pitino spent 2 years as the head coach at Providence, highlighted by his final season when he reached the Final Four, was named Coach of the Year in that 86-87 season. And we're still waiting for the shot clock to be corrected. There is a situation where they may have to verbally announce the shot clock. They're hoping to avoid that. This was ruled the under 16 media timeout just to try to catch up a little bit. But certainly some concerns. And now they've got their fingers crossed that this will work. We've got our fingers crossed as well. All right, so Kadari Richmond will inbound. Everyone holding their breath to see if the shot clock will wind down. It does. And a sarcastic cheer from the fans at the Garden. Wilcher cuts and sends it to the corner. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Friars.
You know, one of the things we got to keep an eye on, Andrew, is Kadari Richmond in this 7-game win streak has been terrific without Davon Smith playing much. He has the ball in his hands a lot more. Let's see if he can go back to playing with another point guard. Because both those guys like to handle the ball.
Lewis drives, looking for Ejiofor, and he's fouled inside. Ryan Mila commits the Providence foul. Richmond during that 7-game win streak averaging 12 points per game, better than 5 assists per game, close to 5 rebounds, 2.7 steals. He's just been doing everything for St. John's. Lewis short on the 3. Richmond catches it, and he's fouled inside.
And the problem with St. John's is look at the size they have all across. Their guards are all 6'5" and bigger. And that's been one of the problems. And these guys like Kadari Richmond has always his whole career been a very good rebounder. So this is a hard team to score on, and it's a hard team to keep off the glass.
Foul is on Mila, so he quickly commits 2 fouls for Providence. And now Kadari Richmond will go to the free throw line. Richmond has struggled at the line, 49% on the year. Well, both teams 1 and 2 in rebounds in the Big East this year.
I think the problem, though, for Providence is their rebounding. They're a very good offensive rebounding team, too. On the defensive end is what you have to do, though, against St. John's. And that's what they didn't do in that 2-point loss they had up in Providence.
And St. John's had 18 offensive rebounds in the first meeting back in December.
And here's that pressure. They press a lot, 10, 11% of the time.
Jabri Abdur-Rahim has checked in for Mila, who has the 2 fouls. And they just get it across, but Floyd to the ground trying to hold on. Richmond collided with Floyd and is a little shaken up. And it's St. John's ball.
So athletic, so long. You got a guy like Scott in the middle of the press there who's 6'7", long arms.
Already 3 Providence turnovers in the first half.
And as we said, St. John's, they feed off that stuff. Their defensive rebound, their defensive stats in the Big East are better than their non-conference stats. Usually you don't see that.
Richmond jumper is good. He's been working hard on that shot a lot with Rick Pitino at practice. And you're starting to see Richmond shoot the ball a little more confidently of late.
Yeah, he made a 3 in that last game, and it looked pretty good when he shot it. But look how far out Providence is running their offense. I mean, it's hard to score when you're running your offense that far out.
Pierre fakes the three, now just inside the line, and he puts Providence on the board.
But that's their first shot, by the way, in the game. Their shot attempt in the game. They had no shots in the first 2.5 minutes.
Feels like we've played 2.5 hours so far.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 2.5 minutes.
They're not guarding Ejiofor at all when he gets the ball in the foul line area.
Wilcher left alone. And the rebound ripped down by Joseph. He wants to push. Joseph, tough pass, good catch. Abdur-Rahim. Pierre, a three. And the rebound to Abdur-Rahim.
You know, it's not a bad idea for Providence to look to push now and then, because scoring in the half court not going to be easy.
And a travel by Corey Floyd.
Well, Kadari Richmond off the dribble handoff ends up with an easy 10-foot jumper. And then Jaden Pierre with the shot fake is able to make the shot.
Pierre, their leading scorer, averaging just under 13 a game. Scott for three. Air ball. Rick Pitino, we met with him pregame. He said he wants his guys to keep shooting. Even though they're last in three-point percentage, he doesn't want them to, quote, count their misses.
And ironically, Scott's a guy he shoots 34% for his career, and he has really struggled. Like I said, in Big East games, Andrew, I don't know if I've ever seen this. They have one guy shooting over 30% from three, and he's 3 for 8. Jaden Glover, he plays 7 minutes a game. That shooting could come back to bite him at some point. It hasn't so far, but you've got to get some kind of production from the three-point line. But look at this defense. Ejiofor now's on Floyd. Now they switch. Now he's guarding the point guard. And Pierre's couldn't go anywhere.
A push inside. Offensive foul against Providence. It's on the freshman Aswan Arunse. Well, look, they've won 7 in a row and 13 of their last 14. But as you just touched on, Steve, is this three-point shooting sustainable come March?
That's the question, Andrew. I mean, it's great what they're doing now, and it's nice to say, yes, look, we're doing all these other things well, playing hard, rebounding. But guess what? One game, you play a team that gets a little hot, how you going to match it?
Richmond rejected inside. Arunse is 4th in the Big East, blocking just under 2 per game.
And you know, let's understand this. Rick Pitino, if you told me, because I've watched his career for 40 years, I know him that long. If you told me his team was going to be 350 in attempts from the three-point line ever, I'd say there's no way. This guy's one of the best three-point coaches ever. He kind of started it in Providence.
Wilcher misses a three. Floyd on the attack with the left hand. No good. Ejiofor could not secure it, out of bounds. And it's St. John's ball.
Yep, St. John's ball. And you know, one thing that we can't discount is that Providence plays very hard also. And they're not going to give in on the defensive end of the floor if they can help it. If they can keep St. John's off the glass, they can stay in this thing.
If you're just joining us, we already had the under-16 media timeout because of a shot clock issue earlier in the half. So we play on here with 15:15 to go, and we have a whistle inside. And that's going to go against the Friars. Already their 4th team foul. Arunse commits this one. That's his 2nd. So Mila and Arunse, they're 2 freshmen with 2 apiece.
And Isandiko, who just came in for Arunse, had a very good game, 14 points and 8 rebounds last time out.
Wilcher misses another 3 and a whistle inside and a foul on Ejiofor.
And that's a good box out by Isandiko there.
St. John's foul. Number 24, Suki Ejiofor, his first team foul.
Let's face it, if you're Kim English and you can get St. John's, who've attempted 9 shots and have taken 5 threes so far, you got to be happy with that.
Joseph, that's a deep three off the front of the rim. Wiltshire catches it, wants to push. Pierre hustling back. Ejiofor in transition. Doesn't get the bounce. And high up in the air to Joseph, who wants to run the other way.
I'll tell you, in the half court, Providence hasn't gotten a clean look yet. That was a well-contested three that they just took.
St. John's has missed its last 7 shots in a row. Fernandez for 3, no good. And the rebound to St. John's.
That time they got a good one.
Davon Smith at the scorer's table for the Red Storm, set to check in. Ejiofor turnaround, no good. And a whistle inside is going to go on Ibinayo.
Really good box out there, by the way, by Providence. But St. John's defensively, they just take up so much space with their length and their athleticism. But give Providence credit. They are playing solid defense on their end. They're boxing out. They just got 2 fouls on St. John's. They're on box outs. That's what they need to do, put a body on somebody.
They actually called that foul on Providence and Pierre.
Wow.
So it's still St. John's ball, and they give it right back. Now up ahead of the Pat Cardette, and a whistle and a foul on Scott.
Wow, I thought that was a good box out there.
I thought so too. And you heard an ovation a short time ago. That's because Davon Smith checked into the game.
Wow.
And that's a tough one. That they showed on the replay board here.
Hurley would kill you.
And it's a good thing for Kim English to get Cardette back, because he's their 3rd leading scorer this year. Good 3-point shooter from University of Illinois Chicago, Chicago State, good player.
Yeah, he's missed 2 of the last 3 games because of a knee injury as he takes the first free throw. Kim English told us before the game Cardette's knee is doing better, but now he's sick. So he's not sure how long Cardette will be able to go as he's about to attempt his 2nd free throw. Averaging just under 10 points per game. And he misses both free throws. Just a 64% free throw shooter. Wiltshire could not hold on, and a turnover by the Red Storm.
You know, St. John's, as we've said so many times, they're not a great half-court offensive team. They like to run when they get steals and things and rebounds. Right now, this game is at a slog pace, and that really does help Providence.
It feels like at 12 o'clock, someone hit the snooze alarm, and they weren't ready to wake up yet.
Well, the way the game started, too, did not help with the shot clock stuff.
A 4-minute scoring drought for St. John's. Joseph inside. And Esondoko with the bucket.
He was starting for a lot of this year. Rutse took over, but his last game, he came back again, Esondoko.
2 points in 9 minutes in the win against Seton Hall on Tuesday. Wiltshire catch-and-shoot jumper is good. That ends the scoring drought for the Red Storm. They lead by 4. Joseph's pass deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Friars.
That's a good pass inside there. You got a little dribble penetration, which always helps.
Number 11, Jaden Glover. Number 12, RJ Lewis Jr.
Pure shooting stroke of Simeon Wiltshire. Had a career-high 5 steals against Georgetown on Tuesday. Ten on the shot clock. Fernandez dribbling inside. Good defense there by Glover, and the rebound to Ejiofor.
And this is what they want to do. They play one of the fastest tempos in the country, St. John's.
Glover a 3, won't go. And the rebound to Floyd. St. John's is 1 of 6 from deep. Joseph, no call. Abdur Rahim for 3. It's good.
He's also a very good three-point shooter. His minutes are down this year. This kid averaged 12 points a game at Georgia. I mean, he's a good player.
Semi-homecoming for Abdur-Rahim. Grew up in South Orange, New Jersey. Played at Seton Hall Prep and Blair Academy. Here's Smith with that right shoulder. He'll take his first shot attempt, blocked from behind by Joseph. Abdur-Rahim again. Another three for Jabri Abdur-Rahim. A 10-2 run for the Friars. And Rick Pitino calls a timeout.
Well, you talk about giving a lift off the bench. Abdur-Rahim, one of their best three-point shooters, knocks that one out. And then St. John's a little late getting to him. Knocks it out, 10-8, Providence.
Back at the Garden, and during the month of February, CBS Sports celebrates Black history, recognizing its influence on our culture and society. Kim English is one of 5 black head coaches in the Big East this season. And a moment ago, English with our A.J. Ross.
Coach English, some shot clock issues, turnovers, and early foul trouble. Then your team goes on a 10-2 run. How would you assess the way the team is responding?
Funky start to the game. We don't want to give them threes. R.J. Lewis's first three, we just weren't guarding him. Give up an offensive rebound. Very simple. Take care of the ball, box out. Very simple game plan.
Thank you, Coach.
He's right. I mean, it's about as simple a game plan as you can think of. If you don't turn the ball over and you rebound against a team that shoots the ball like this and keep them out of that lane, you have a chance.
Abdur-Rahim with back-to-back threes to put Providence ahead by 2.
And it's this kind of situation they need Davon Smith, because he is their best perimeter shooter. He's only shooting 30% in the Big East, but 39 on the season. A very good shooter. Getting him going would make a big difference.
St. John's is 3 of 14 from the floor.
Well, look at Providence. They're switching everything too.
Ejiofor doesn't get the roll. Fighting for the loose ball, and the Friars come away with it.
Great hustle by Abdur-Rahim there.
And Ejiofor is hurt behind the play. It's 5-on-4 for the Friars. Floyd can't get it to go. Ejiofor is limping to midcourt and still in some pain. And St. John's fans hold their breath.
Into the game for St. John's, number 7.
Take another look at the replay. Rahim on his left ankle of Ejiofor.
It didn't look like it buckled bad. That's obviously conjecture, and he's walking decent.
Foul was on Aaron Scott, and that's his second for St. John's, as Vince Iwuchukwu has come on, and we have an immediate foul.
Foul, St. John's, number 17, Ruben Prey, his first.
And you see Rick Pitino wandering down to check on Ejiofor as well.
And interesting, Ruben Prey and Iwuchukwu in the game at the same time, going with the 2 bigs. Let's see how these guys are defensively.
Davon Smith with Floyd back. And we may have basket interference.
And I think that was going in.
I do too.
I'll tell you, that was some athletic move by Davon Smith. I think that was going in.
Yep. Rick Pitino is telling Iwuchukwu the same exact thing. It was going in. Tell you what, this 9 minutes, we've seen some things.
Yes, quite a lot for 9 minutes.
Abdur-Rahim to a cutting Essendoko. 12-2 run for the Friars. Prey with 10 to shoot. Prey trying to muscle his way inside. Too strong off the glass, and the rebound of the Friars. Abdur-Rahim was calling for it. Abdur-Rahim, who's already got 2 threes, works it around the perimeter to Pierre. As Sandiko with 10 to shoot. And a steal by Smith. With Joseph back, Smith going to the ground. R.J. Lewis corrals it. Lewis trying to go up. No call. And Pierre has it.
I think that was a good no call on Davon Smith. They didn't foul him there.
And a lot going on here. Now we have a foul on Pierre.
Let's go back to this dunk. You're going to take a look here. Stop it right there. Sandiko is he's not setting a screen. He is ghost screening and diving right away to the back. They end up playing this thing like a pick and roll and don't get back fast enough. Iwuchukwu comes out and he just dives to the basket hard.
Foul on Pierre is his second, so the foul is adding up for the Friars. But they lead by 4. And I don't see Ejiofor on the St. John's bench right now. Wiltshire for 3.
Here's the formula. Pack in your defense like Providence is. Make them shoot threes, rebound it, and you're in it.
A.J. Ross telling us that Ejiofor has indeed gone to the St. John's locker room to be evaluated. Joseph's 3 halfway down and out, and it's Richmond with the rebound. St. John's has missed 15 of its last 16 shots, and they turn it over here. Abdur-Rahim ahead of the pack, and the finish.
I tell you, Jaden Pierre is such a smart player with great help there.
It is now a 14-2 run. And another St. John's turnover. That's their 5th.
You take a look, that was Jaden Pierre just coming right out with that double team there to force that turnover.
Abdur-Rahim now has 8 points. Providence has scored 12 of its 14 from players off the bench. Starters have only scored 2.
And normally not their strength.
Ejiofor has returned to the St. John's bench. As Providence not able to connect.
Look how packed in this Providence defense is. I can't blame them.
Lewis. Iwuchukwu fighting for the loose ball. Arunse with 2 fouls. He's got to be careful. And a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Friars. And here's great news for St. John's as Ejiofor is about to check back in.
Returning for the Red Storm, number 24, Zubi Ejiofor. Replaces Iwuchukwu. Krista Sandiko back in for Providence. Replaces Arunse.
You know, you're seeing, Andrew, firsthand the formula for trying to beat St. John. Now, it's easier said than done. It happens to be working right now for Providence.
I don't care who you are. You shoot 3 for 20 from the floor. It's going to be hard to win games, and that's what St. John's is doing right now. They've missed 16 of their last 17 shots. Abdur-Rahim has had the hot hand. It does not continue here, and the rebound corralled by Richmond.
And the problem is they're not getting out in transition to get something easier.
Smith on the attack, can't finish. Richmond the tip-in. Joseph, no-look pass. Abdur-Rahim wide open for another three.
Why would he be that open there? The one guy that's making threes for Providence, that was just a mistake. Rick Pitino was not happy on that. They didn't get their men.
Abdur-Rahim already in double figures with 11.
I mean, this is so packed in, it almost looks like a zone.
Edge at 4 will take that one.
I mean, I understand you want to back off Edge at 4. Even though he's made a couple of threes this year, you want to back off him from the three-point line. You can't back off him from 10 feet.
Edge at 4 still moving gingerly. That left ankle is something to keep an eye on. Abdur-Rahim, and that heat check is no good. And a foul is called on St. John's. Takes us to a timeout with 6:24 to go in a wacky first half. Abdur-Rahim has hit 3 threes. But St. John's has cut it down to 5. Friars up by 5. Don't miss a women's college basketball battle tomorrow at noon Eastern as VCU hosts Davidson right here on CBS Sports Network. Look at the standings in the A-10 on the women's side. Davidson at 5 and 4. VCU comes in at 4 and 6. Meanwhile, back here at the Garden, a sloppy start for St. John's.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, they've been forced to play in the half court a lot, and that has not worked for them, especially 1 for 7 from the three-point line. They've turned it over, and St. John's, only one other major conference team scores more points on second shots and turnovers than St. John's, and that's Vanderbilt. They score 32 points a game on those two things. Now, nothing.
15 points off the bench for Kim English, and for St. John's, 5 turnovers, which is the same amount of field goals they have so far in this game. Remember the first matchup in Providence back in December? Providence led by as many as 16 before St. John's came all the way back to win at the buzzer.
Well, with St. John's, you got to keep in mind they're one of the best second half teams in the country. They score 41.7 points in the second half a game, plus 9 on their opponents. So that's something that they've done unbelievably well this year.
Shot clock down to 5. Joseph a deep 3. And Richmond goes up high for the rebound. Ball tipped right back out to Smith. Lewis all alone for 3. Second triple today for R.J. Lewis. Fernandez, the transfer from George Mason, where he played a year for Kim English. Nice move to get to the hoop.
Really good move. He out-muscled Kadari Richmond that time, which is not that easy to do.
Smith a triple. Off the front of the rim, and then the rebound to Joseph, who's got great speed.
And they were lucky that time, because that was pretty good open shot.
And a travel against Fernandez.
I don't know. They had the ball, right?
See the struggles for St. John's offensively, including the 5 turnovers. Lap, how about Arunse out there with the 2 fouls?
Yeah, I mean, they're taking a big chance, but I guess he feels confident in his Sandoco the way he's been playing.
Wiltshire a 3, and that's no good. Tipped out and corralled by Floyd. Goes out of bounds, and Floyd almost into us.
Returning for the Friars, number 1, replacing Joseph Fernandez.
Well, I got to say that Kim English told us before the game he was hoping to keep it to 10 turnovers or fewer today. I don't think that's going to happen, as Providence already has 9 in the first 15 minutes.
You know what? It's not going to happen, but the big thing, Andrew, is that St. John's has 4 steals and have not gotten a lot in transition off those turnovers.
Richmond for 3. It's good! He hit one on Tuesday, which was his first since November, and he hits another here today.
You know, Matt Abdelmassi was telling us before the game that Rick Pitino's been working with him personally and that's how he shoots him in practice. That was great rotation. That looked really good.
And an offensive foul against Providence, and that's on Arunse. That's his 3rd.
Well, Kim English gamble. Now Sandago is going to get a chance to play a lot.
Another look at the screen.
Yep.
St. John's with the ball. Lewis trying to give him the lead. It doesn't go. Rebound inside. Osanigo pushed Ejiofor to the ground. No call there.
Not a good shot.
And Smith knocks it out of bounds. Back and forth we go. Red Storm within 1. Richmond the 3. You're watching college. Steve, let's take a look at your top players in the Big East.
Well, Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's going to be the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the league for Creighton. He's been terrific. Cam Jones, unbelievable year for Marquette, playing the point this year. Great assist-to-turnover ratio. And then Eric Dixon for Villanova, leading scorer in the country. How could you not put him in there? But R.J. Lewis is right there next. And Kadari Richmond. Just, I think, a step back.
As we take a closer look with our eye on the Big East, St. John's has a big week upcoming. Marquette on Tuesday, then at UConn on Friday.
Yeah, and UConn struggled a little bit with Liam McNeely out. He's coming back soon. And how many teams? Right now, it looks like 4 pretty much locked in or pretty close. Can Xavier or Villanova or both or Providence end up sneaking in there in the end?
Only got 3 a year ago. St. John's has not been to the NCAA tournament since 2019. But a 23 ranking in today's net, an 18-3 record overall. And Rick Pitino has them in great position as we turn the calendar to February today. 3:55 to go in the first half. Pierre with 2 fouls. Richmond defending Barron. Barron trying to look for some space. Turnaround is good off the window.
You know, and taking Kadari Richmond into the lane that time.
Rich Barron, the sophomore from Chicago, puts the Friars up by 3.
Take a look at this defense. There is nobody outside. They got their heat. Look, they're playing inside the 3-point line. It looks like a zone. Matter of fact, it is. They don't play much zone, but they're playing zone now.
Richmond shoots through the zone for 2.
Yeah, I mean, a little too easy. I understand you want to test him from 3, but you can't test a guy from 12 feet.
Richmond has half of St. John's points here in the first. He's got 10. Floyd on the attack. No good. The Sandako's follow won't go, and Ejiofor with the rebound. Wiltshire defended by Floyd. Those two played together at Roselle Catholic in New Jersey, former teammates. As Joseph goes to the ground for the rebound, and Pierre up ahead with Richmond back. And Pierre will pull it back. And an offensive foul.
Yeah, you can't move when you have that handoff. You cannot move into the defender. And that's, you know, you'll see here, this is exactly where you want to throw it. They miscommunicate on that, Providence. They showed man, they went zone, and they didn't get to that spot.
Attempting for the Friars, number 3, Jabri Abdurrahim. Places Jamie Pierre.
team fouls against the Friars to 5 for St. John's. As you see, the turnovers adding up. They average 12 per game and have committed 11 in the first half.
And, you know, St. John's, they force about 16 or 17 a game. So, you know, as Kim English told us, that's what they can't do.
They are looking at that last play. So we have a stoppage for an official review.
Thank you.
And nothing extra on this one. St. John's 13-0 at home this year, including 4-0 at the Garden.
After video review, no further punishment was adjudicated.
Averaging 83 points per game at home, but only 20 so far with 2:19 to go in the first. Coming up at AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, Jay Wright, Chris Walker will get you caught up on this game and all the other action around the country. All coming up on AT&T at the half.
Yeah, Providence, they don't play much zone. The thing they got to do, though, is they have to rebound. That's the tough thing when you play a zone. It's a good defense to play against St. John's, but you have to rebound.
Richmond inside, underneath the basket. Bad position, out of bounds to Providence.
Kim English is doing everything he can to keep his team in this and keep St. John's off balance.
Well, they're out rebounding St. John's by 7.
The only thing is St. John's has 6 second chance points. Providence has none, but that still is something. Oh, shoulder.
Smith holding on to that shoulder.
Yeah, I think he took one in the shoulder there. At least that's what it looked like. Look how packed in this zone is. They're like daring these guys.
Smith a 3. Yeah, the shoulder looks okay there.
Now that's the one guy that you can't dare, shooting 39 on the year.
And St. John's pulls ahead by 2. A minute to go in the first half. Barron with 10 to shoot. Sends it out to Abdur-Rahim with the shot clock at 5. Abdur-Rahim defended by Richmond. Spinning on Richmond. They're not going to get a shot off. No, that does not count. A shot clock violation.
And that was really close.
They're going to take a look at the monitor, but I don't think it got off in time.
Yeah, they're allowed to take a look at it. No. They're allowed to take a look at it because the ball went in the basket. If it was a missed shot, they wouldn't be looking at it. They would just sit going with the shot clock violation.
And that is the 3rd shot clock violation this half committed by the Friars. And they've already matched their per game average with 12 turnovers today.
Well, let's face it, as bad as St. John's has been in the half court offensively, they've been pretty good in the half court defensively, and that's what's kept them in this game.
A 2-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Richmond to Ejiofor. Ejiofor will put it up and hit.
That was really good offense that time. They got the ball into the lane area, which is what you want to do.
Kim English calls timeout with 11 seconds to go.
11 seconds to go. St. John's up 4. Take a look at Ejiofor. He does a great job here. Stop it right there. Look how he seals up as Sandico there. He seals him up and gets great position, and that's what allows him to catch that pass and score inside. Really good job of working hard to get position.
It's a 7-0 run for St. John's. And Providence, which has averaged 71 points per game with just 21 here in the first half. It's a Providence team that has struggled away from home. 2-8 on the road and neutral site games this year.
So here you have St. John shooting 29%, and they're up 4. They are the poster kids for, if you play great defense, you always have a chance, and that's what they're doing.
Final 10 seconds. Pierre with 3. Pierre trying to put one up. He does. It won't go, and that is how an odd first half comes to an end. 7-0 run by the Red Storm to close out the first half, and they lead by 4. St. John's 12-2 when leading at the half this year. And Rick Pitino coming over to chat with A.J. Ross. Over to A.J.
Coach, tough shooting half for you guys. Providence in the zone kind of provoking you all to shoot along the perimeter. How would you assess your shot selection?
It's a lack. The shots are great. It's a lack of confidence on our part. It's been happening all season. We worry about misses too much. We just need to take the open shot, try for the rebound, playing great defense. The only way to get your confidence back from a shooting standpoint is to shoot the ball when you're open. And it bothers me. When I played in college, I played for a great coach. But if we missed an open shot, we were probably coming out. They have the green light every single time down the court. So they need to stop counting their misses and start making them.
Thank you, Coach.
That's exactly what he told us pregame. Don't count the misses. There were a lot of misses in the first half. But St. John's has the lead. After the break, we'll send you to AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Fresh Pet. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Fresh Pet. As we take a look at the first half numbers, neither team shot the ball particularly well. Once again, St. John's doing it with defense. As we welcome you back courtside with Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. We'll hear from A.J. Ross momentarily. This is the third time in the last 4 games that St. John's has held the team to 21 points or fewer at halftime.
Yeah, obviously they're shooting 29% from the field, and they're up 4 in this game, so they rely on that defense. But if you're Kim English and you say we shot 35% in the first half, we had 12 turnovers, and here we are down 4, that's not a bad place to be. The problem is St. John's in second halves, as we talked about earlier, Andrew. 41.7 points they scored in the second half, plus 9 over their opponents. Only 3 other teams in the country are better than them at that.
For Rick Pitino, Kadari Richmond has led the way with 10 points and 6 rebounds. And for Providence, coming off the bench, Jabri Abdur-Rahim, 11 points thanks to 3 three-pointers.
Yeah, a guy who averages 5 a game, so that was huge. But you know what? They locked him down the last 7 minutes of the half. Couldn't really get anything. And here Providence starting out. They tried the show zone and went man-to-man. Now they're switching up. They are man-to-man now, but showed zone initially.
Lewis on the perimeter with 10 on the shot clock. Cross-court pass to Scott. And a whistle inside, and Scott was out of bounds.
Yeah, that was not a great possession for St. John's there.
6 turnovers for the Red Storm to 12 for the Friars. Let's check in with A.J. Ross.
Well, Andrew, and speaking with Kim English at halftime, he told me he issued a challenge to Ryan Mila in particular to play smarter and harder after he got into some early foul trouble. He also noted how well they played defense in that first half, limiting St. John's to just 29% shooting. He says they have to keep up that intensity here throughout, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that they did a great job. The problem is that trying to score against St. John's is not the easiest thing either.
Scott's jumper is short, but he was fouled. And if that's on Pierre, which it is, no, they're calling it on Floyd. Would have been the third on Pierre. Instead, it's the first on Floyd.
Here he comes off that screen. Oh, boy. We call that phantom. That was a phantom.
Feels like this game had a few Bloody Marys before it started.
Yeah, it did.
A lot of wacky things.
Yeah. Why, you saying you have to be wacky?
No, I know that you don't know anything about that. Let's see what we get here in the second half.
Scott has really been struggling. Only played 7 minutes in the first half. One of their better three-point shooters. But I think Rick Pitino has to be happy that his team, not that they shot a great percentage, but they made 4 threes in the first half. That is really good for them when they average 4 in the Big East.
Joseph in transition. He's got great speed, but good defense by St. John's. Scott all over him. Joseph misses. Rebound, Ejiofor. Richmond with 10 in the first half, and now he's got a dozen, and this is the largest lead for the Red Storm.
And that's what he does. He is a power driver, this kid. Strong body, takes Mila right inside, no problem. This is a huge part of this game for Providence, to try and hang in there.
And Abdur-Rahim at the scorer's table set to check in early. Mila thought about a three. Shot clock down to 3. Mila misses, and Ejiofor another rebound.
He needed to shoot the first one and ends up taking a worse shot on the second one.
Wilcher going right at his former high school teammate, but could not knock it down. Kim English telling Ryan Mila to get the ball going on the perimeter. They want to move the ball. Pierre with some space. Misses the jumper.
But that's a tough shot. Well contested and well defended by St. John's.
Ejiofor now inside. Right back out. Scott wide open.
Wow, he hasn't been close.
Mila, did he touch it last? No. It'll be Providence ball.
You take a look at Kadari Richmond. This is what he does. He gets offensive rebounds. The three, not usually. He was 4 for 22 coming into this game on the season. But he'll take it inside and score with the best of them.
30-second team timeout extends to the media.
Timeout on the floor with 17:31 to go in the second half. We here at CBS Sports want to pay our respects to the family and friends of George Kalinsky, who passed away last month at the age of 88. Kalinsky spent over 50 years as the official photographer here at Madison Square Garden, capturing iconic moments for the Knicks, Rangers, as well as college basketball. Doubleheader day today at the Garden, as later tonight the Knicks host the Los Angeles Lakers. That was a St. John's timeout, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Red Storm ended the first half on a 7-0 run and have started the second on a 4-0 run.
They just make it so hard. If you can't get any easy baskets in transition, they make it so hard on you in the half court.
Counted in one for Arunse.
Nice out of bounds play there.
His first points of the afternoon. Wilcher commits the foul, his first. Arunse, an adventure at the free throw line, 41% on the year. Looks good there. and completes the three-point play. Kadari Richmond brings the ball up the floor. Over the last 2 games, Richmond is 11 of 14 from the floor.
Yeah, last time we were here when they played Villanova, Rick told us that he watched every tape. That's a good shot, too.
Hits again.
A little too easy, though, I got to tell you the truth, Andrew. Like I said, if you want to dare Kadari Richmond from the three-point line, I get it. You want to dare him from 15 feet? I don't know.
14 for Richmond. Abdur-Rahim is fouled, and it goes. A chance for 4 for Abdur-Rahim.
A huge shot. This kid 11 in the first half, averages 5 a game. That was a good pass there. Scott a little bit late in trying to close out. Fouls him.
What a big play by Jabri Abdur-Rahim.
And what did Rick Pitino tell us before the game? That most of the three-point shots that Providence takes are from the corner. So you don't want to help on a drive. Like Aaron Scott that time did what he was not supposed to, which is probably a big reason he's coming out. He helped a little bit on Pierre, and that left the corner 3 open, and he comes late and fouls him. That's what Rick's telling him right now.
The 3rd foul on Aaron Scott, as Abdur-Rahim, the son of former NBA star Sharif Abdur-Rahim, completes the 4-point play. Three-point game. Red Storm trying to increase their win streak to 8 in a row. Lewis for 3. Off the mark, and the rebound to Abdur-Rahim. Joseph in transition. Bad pass and another Providence turnover. Threw it right to Richmond, who's in transition. Lewis left alone for 3. This one is good.
3 threes for R.J. Lewis. If he can, I mean, he's a pro, there's no doubt about it. But if he could do that, even better.
5 threes for St. John's today. They average 6 per game. Pierre turnaround, way short. Richmond catches it.
What a great job by Ejiofor staying on Pierre.
Lewis for 2 more. Kim English calls a timeout. Garden looking good, feeling good. St. John's increases its lead. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Fresh Pet. St. John's up by 8. Tomorrow morning, catch some world-class soccer. It's a Serie A Femminile showdown as Juventus takes on Napoli at 6:30 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. How about R.J. Lewis, Lap?
Yeah, I mean, he's made 3 threes tonight. Normally, he's the kind of guy who's going to kill you off 2s and on rebounding. But tonight, he's been able to make 3s, which obviously, that really takes his game up a couple of notches, without a doubt. So, but this St. John's team, it's starting to creep up. They've scored 16 points off turnovers in this game. They average 21.5. So they've gotten 22 points off turnovers and second chance points. They average 32. That's the problem with playing them. You just cannot keep them from getting those kind of points. 14 turnovers for Providence.
Pierre races into the front court. And now we'll pull it back. And Lewis over aggressive and commits the foul.
I mean, I don't know how Lewis can think he didn't foul him there. That's funny. John Gaffney was like, really?
Last 7 games for Lewis, averaging 19 points and 8 rebounds per game. He's got 11 and 3 so far today. He's been in double figures now in 21 of 22 games this season.
They guard pick and rolls, St. John, the old-fashioned way, hard hedge.
And Richmond commits a foul with just 5 on the shot clock. What a season so far for St. John's. Best record since the 85-86 season. Best conference start since the year they went to the Final Four. And best ranking in the AP poll in 10 years. Good play by Lewis to knock that out of bounds.
Lewis is having a heck of a conversation with John Gaffney. Now we got a fan talking to him too.
Abdur-Rahim baseline. Good defense by St. John's. Pierre will launch a 3. And that one knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Arunse. Rick Pitino said this week that what he likes about his team the most is that they're humble. They don't believe that they're great. They have a great fear of losing. And you can see in their style of play, they play with that chip on their shoulder.
You know, that's a great point that Rick made, because there's nothing better than a team that feels like they can lose to anybody but has the confidence to beat anybody. That's hard to get, those two things at the same time.
Ejiofor is fouled inside. You talk about confidence, and Rick Pitino obviously came to St. John's thinking that he could and would turn the program around. When we met with him pregame, he said one of the big surprises, though, is how quickly the fans have come back to the Garden. I mean, it's another packed house here at MSG. That was one thing he was unsure of. Didn't take long.
He's a New York guy, should have known better. One thing, this place loves a winner. You know what? They'll leave quick if you lose, but they'll come back quick if you win.
Largest lead of the day for St. John's.
Hey, when I was a kid, Andrew, this is what it was like. You know, I'd sit up top for $1.50 with my GO card and watch, you know, Mel Davis and Frank Alasia and those guys play for St. John's.
I don't think it costs $1.50 anymore.
No, I don't think so. Well, you had a GO card. With the GO card you got from school, it was $1.50. And you paid like 20 cents, 25 cents to get on the subway. It was a cheap night.
Was that like 10 years ago?
Yeah, about 10.
Okay.
No, more like 18.
Okay, that's fair. Five minutes gone by in the second half. St. John's' lead is up to 10. Fernandez, nice moves to break free, but he misses. Had a wide open look. Richmond cuts. A follow by Ejiofor.
You know, I think the frustration is starting to ramp up for Providence a little bit on the offensive end, and that time it affected their transition defense.
9 straight points for the Red Storm. Floyd puts one up, and Providence in a big rut right now, scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes.
Great pass.
Smith to Ejiofor. Timeout, Providence. $11-0 run, and the last 6 points have been scored by Zuby Ejiofor.
And now what happened here is the last couple of possessions, not a great job by Providence getting back in transition. And that's where St. John's took advantage of him there. Kadari Richmond had a layup. Ejiofor finishes it up. And now Ejiofor ends up, again, beating them down the floor as Davon Smith kicks a nice pass in there. Like I said, I think, you know, what happens, too, is the frustration starts to get to you when you're struggling offensively like Providence is. You gotta give St. John's credit. They are relentless defensively. And they just play the same way for 40 minutes, and eventually you crack up. That's what they do.
They're holding Providence to just 2 of 9 shooting here in the second half.
You have to be a really good half-court offensive team to beat this team. And I'm not saying it can't be done. They got Marquette coming up next, who is a very good half-court offensive team. Connecticut is a very good half-court offensive team, as is Creighton. Creighton, obviously, one of their, they had a tough time with Creighton this year.
St. John's only conference loss was at Creighton on New Year's Eve.
Whoa, that was close. And it's like, where do you go, offensively? Because they don't really have someone in the paint that can score.
Pierre thought about a three, and he traveled.
At the top of the show, we talked about how important Pierre and Bensley Joseph were in this game. And Bensley Joseph, is 0 for 5 from the field, hasn't been able to do anything, and they've been making life difficult for Pierre, 1 for 7 from the field. So they've done the job on the guards.
Smith's jumper won't go. Edge of floor trail on the play, 5-on-4. Abdur-Rahim a three. Wow! Again, Abdur-Rahim, his 5th triple.
He's really been it offensively in terms of Providence.
$18 for Abdur-Rahim. His season high is 21 against BYU. And R.J. Lewis travels.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, Abdur-Rahim is 18 of their 31, so they've got 13 points from the rest of the team.
3rd different college for Abdur-Rahim. His freshman year was at UVA and spent the last 3 years at Georgia. And yeah, he's outscoring the entire Providence team, 18-13. Pierre a three. Halfway down and out. And out of bounds to St. John's.
Yeah, that was in the basket.
There's Bryce Hopkins, out for the year with a knee injury. Such a huge loss for the Friars. Tore his ACL a year ago, came back, played 3 games, but just not right. And it's hard to figure this Providence team without Hopkins now. I mean, that's
top 5 player in the league. And Kim English losing last year after like 8 or 9 games, and now this year only 3 games. That's a tough blow for Providence.
Richmond again.
This guy's been money in the bank from the elbows.
He's 7 of 10 today for 16 points.
He's playing, he was a first-team All-Big East player last year. Oh.
Providence bailed out by a foul. Aaron Scott called for his 4th.
Kadari Richmond, boy, 16, 7 rebounds, 5 assists.
Scott's going to have to come right back out with the 4 fouls. Just another sloppy turnover by the Friars. That's their 16th today.
Yeah, not, one-handed, left-handed bounce pass.
St. John's forces 16 turnovers per game. That's 2nd best in the Big East behind Marquette, top 20 in the country.
Good pass fake by Richmond.
And Wiltshire hits it, and a fist pump from Rick Pitino. His first 3 of the afternoon. St. John's ups its lead. Pierre will shoot from the corner and knock it down. 5 points for Pierre, his first triple of the day. Ejiofor setting the screen for Smith. Richmond, another three!
I know Rick Pitino is definitely smiling inside seeing that. He's worked with Kadari Richmond himself.
That ties a career high with 2 made three-pointers by Richmond. Abdur-Rahim misses this one. A 16-point St. John's lead.
Good pass.
Wilcher left alone. Smith, the follow not there, tipped around. And the loose ball scooped up by the Friars. Richmond rips it away and scores with the foul. This is what St. John's had in mind when they landed Kadari Richmond from Seton Hall. Wilcher hits the three, and then Richmond now up to 21 points on the afternoon. St. John's up big on the Friars.
I'm not saying they have to win their conference tournament, but they'd feel a lot better if they did. Oklahoma, that league has been unbelievable this year. Probably going to get 13 teams from the SEC into the NCAA tournament. So,
and Kadari Richmond a season high now with 21 points, 7 in the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and a chance to add to it at the free throw line.
And you know what, Andrew? I wanted to give a shout out to the great assistant coach Van Macon, who is recovering from surgery. Is not with the St. John's team right now. A great assistant. I'm sure the program can't wait to get Van back and feel better, Van.
Well said. Best wishes to Van. Wilcher commits the foul. Midway through the second half, St. John's on the verge of winning its 8th straight game and making it 14 of their last 15.
And you know, it's exactly what Kim English said before the game in terms of his game plan. It's just a matter of it's not easy to do, to not turn it over and to make sure you rebound. And now when they're making threes, forget about it.
And Floyd was out of bounds. The 18th Providence turnover.
It's amazing that no one, you have Abdur-Rahim with 18 points and nobody on Providence with more than 5.
You see the breakdown of the turnovers by the Friars.
It's a lot in every category.
Not the stat sheet you want to fill up. Richmond's pass hit the bottom of the basket. Jeez. 19 turnovers. And they committed 17 in the first game against St. John's. So in 2 games against the Red Storm, 36 turnovers.
And that was a 2-point loss at the buzzer on an offensive rebound by Ejiofor.
St. John's has only committed 14 turnovers in the 2 games against Providence. Smith inside, rejected by Arunse.
You know, he hasn't had a great game, but I think physically he looks back to me. He's just got to get his timing down.
And there was some concern with the way Richmond has played. How would that continue with Smith coming back? Well, it hasn't slowed down Richmond at all.
Oh, no, he's having his best game of the year.
Arunse with the follow. St. John's fans wanted basket interference. 8.5 to go.
They're really daring Ejiofor.
Ejiofor turns it over. Pierre tried to squeeze a pass in, out of bounds. It'll stay with Providence. Iwuchukwu hops off the St. John's bench for Rick Pitino, and he'll come into the game. Ejiofor will come out. And Wiltshire's coming back in for St. John's. Davon Smith coming out. Ejiofor has gone 18 straight games with at least 7 rebounds. That's the longest active streak in the country. He's only got 5 rebounds today. See if he comes back in. Hernandez is fouled. And Richmond is grabbing his arm. Richmond in some pain. We'll be right back after this. Back with a look at our AT&T game summary, and certainly the turnovers for Providence are a big part of today's storyline. 19 of them for the Friars. It's been a sloppy effort by Providence.
Yeah, I mean, at 21 points off those 19 turnovers. They've had them in every fashion. Bad passes, violations, you name it, they've done it. But you know what? They're forced. Most of those turnovers are forced turnovers because of the athleticism of St. John's, the way they play defense, their length, the fact that they can switch 1 through 5. They make it very hard for you. And for St. John's, they made 7 threes in this game. When they do that, they beat anybody in the country.
Let's check in with AJ.
Well, Andrew, I can tell you that that frustration has been very evident in these timeouts with Tim English, emphasizing every possession must count with this group. And that's something they talked to us about pregame. He said, especially against this, St. John's defense, they have to move the ball better. They're not looking and hitting certain looks that he wants to see out there. And they went 10 deep in the first half. So he has no problem subbing guys in and out who are not executing or making mental errors with this little time left, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's all very true, but if Jaden Pierre and Bensley Joseph don't play well for him, it's very hard for them to win because they don't have Bryce Hopkins anymore or somebody else. Those are the 2 guys that got to do it.
AJ, a great basketball player in her day. Did you know that, Lap?
I knew that, yes.
Oh, yeah. AJ now covering games at the Garden, but AJ, I think you could have played here.
I mean, that would have been a dream come true. I don't think that was necessarily an opportunity, but would have loved it for sure.
I would have put you in. Foul committed by the Friars on the perimeter. For those of you tuning in for the St. Joe's Loyola Chicago game, you'll be able to find it streaming free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN just as soon as it tips off. And of course, we'll take you out there immediately following the conclusion of this one. St. John's led by 3 with 16.5 minutes left in this half. And since then, a 22-8 run. And a whistle inside.
Providence foul. On number 2, Priest Masandiko is first.
Masandiko commits the foul with 7:26 to play.
And we talked about St. John's in the second half. They are one of the best second half teams in the country. And I think a lot of that, Andrew, is because they just wear on you. The way they guard you for 40 minutes, just hard. Oh.
Powerful move by Iwuchukwu.
This kid was a big-time recruit coming out of high school. He was at USC.
Suffered cardiac arrest in July of 2022 while training. Took him a while to get back. Certainly an incredible story now in his first year at St. John's. Pierre's 3 won't go. Masandiko the offensive rebound. Fans wanted to travel instead. A chance for 3 for the big guy.
I think he did travel right there. That's a travel.
18 fouls. Priest
Grew up in France and was good friends with Victor Wembanyama, who's now with the San Antonio Spurs. Known each other since they were 13 years old. And the bank is open at the free throw line. 15-point game, inside 7 to play. Richmond trying to add to his total. No, Iwuchukwu can't follow it. Tipped right to Abdur-Rahim. Fernandez from the outside is good. Good looking shot by Justin Fernandez.
You know, he's playing a little bit more lately, and yet you see, he's done some pretty good things in this game.
He started the game at Villanova and scored 17 points against the Wildcats. Wilcher with the left hand, no. And then a foul committed by Iwuchukwu as he sent Pierre sprawling to the floor. St. John's trying to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2019. Our Jerry Palm currently projects them as an 8 seed. And I think the reason why it's not higher is the only one quad 1 win that was at Xavier.
There's no doubt that that's why they, with their record and the way they've played, that with the 1-3 record against quad 1, I mean, to put it in perspective, Auburn has the most quad 1 wins in the country. They have 12. Now, the next closest team to Auburn has 8. So that is an incredible amount. But, you know, if they get up to 4, they got to win those road games in the Big East especially that can be quad 1 opportunities.
And this week is huge for St. John's. Tuesday at home against Marquette, Friday at UConn.
Issues 1 more.
St. John's, as a program, has not won an NCAA tournament game since 2000, 25 years ago.
That's incredible.
They got to take care of business in this game, though, as Providence has just scored 8 straight points in less than a minute.
And look, Kim English's team, they don't go easy.
Ejiofor, nice touch.
Off the assist from Kadari Richmond.
Richmond has 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. So 2 rebounds, 2 assists shy of a triple-double. Abdur-Rahim, another 3. And Rick Pitino is furious.
Yeah, because the whole world knows he's the guy that's going to make the 3-point shot, and they were not up on him.
6 threes for Abdur-Rahim. Lewis, a 2. Kim English said he wants his team to push. They do beat St. John's down the floor.
Rick Pitino wanted a timeout. The players didn't do it, they thought it was a timeout, and that's why Sandogo was able to beat him down the floor.
Rick Pitino now calls timeout with 4:59 to go.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with Kadari Richmond there, leaving him so alone. And then here, St. John's kind of thought it was a timeout, didn't get back.
And a 9-point game, as Providence has hit each of its last 4 shots, a 13-4 run. Well, for those of you looking for the St. Joe's Loyola Chicago game, you'll be able to find it streaming for free on the CBS Sports app or at cbssports.com/CBSSN. And of course, we'll take you out there immediately following the conclusion of this one at Madison Square Garden. Any guesses as to who has the last triple-double in St. John's history? It's a big name. You got to go back 26 years.
26 years. Hold on a second.
He's had a couple
Ron
of
Artest.
names. Yes, very good. Ron Artest. January of '99. Richmond can do it, but I think Kadari Richmond more focused on just getting a win for St. John's. And Richmond is fouled before the shot.
Ron Artest, boy, he was pretty good. That was a really good team. Eric Barkley, Ron Artest. I remember him well.
Sounds like it. Fernandez checks out, and Corey Floyd is back in.
Replaces Fernandez.
Floyd is scoreless today.
And he had 5 double-figure games in a row coming in today.
He's 0 for 6. Smith a 3. Rebound to Joseph.
I think Rick Pitino is going to feel good about Davon Smith at the end of this game.
Abdur-Rahim again.
Wow.
Another 3. 7 threes, and that ties a career high. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-possession game. Lewis off glass, no. Lewis on the floor gets the loose ball rebound. And now a whistle. And out of bounds to St. John's.
I'll tell you, Abdur-Rahim has got this high arcing 3. That was contested.
And for a kid who grew up in South Orange, New Jersey, just across the river, going to be a dream come true, hitting 7 threes at Madison Square Garden.
I think Kadari Richmond just getting this 10 seconds and then the media timeout, and I'm sure he'll be back in.
A 19-6 run for the Friars. Ejiofor is fouled.
On basket, Providence foul. It's on number 2, Priest Asandiko, his third, 7th team foul.
Asandiko with his 3rd foul, now 7 against the Friars as a team here in the second half.
To the Ejiofor at the line for the red score. Shooting 2.
A dozen for Ejiofor today. Should point out that while St. John's has not had a triple-double since '99, Kadari Richmond did have one when he was with Seton Hall. It was actually last year against Creighton. One out of 2 for Ejiofor. 7-point game, 4 minutes to play.
Well, interesting. Rick Pitino has started out with his smallest guy on Abdur-Rahim, Davon Smith.
Pierre, tough 2. And the Friar fans here making some noise.
St. John's got to figure out what they want to do in the half court.
Richmond continues to sit. 3.5 to go. Lewis, tough. Step back is good.
He's a good player. He made that pull-up look easy.
He's got 15. Richmond to the scorer's table. Floyd over to Pierre, who launches. No good. Tipped right back out to Lewis. And Lewis threw it away. Numbers for the Friars. Floyd left alone. It's good! A triple! His first field goal of the day.
That was a tough sequence for St. John's.
Providence has 10 three-pointers today. Scott trying to answer. And the rebound to Abdur-Rahim.
They setting that screen on. Oh, that was close.
Abdur-Rahim, a three. Good! Timeout, St. John's. 8 3-pointers for Abdur-Rahim. And we've got a 1-point game. Wow. Magic at Madison Square Garden. Our keys to the game brought to you by Fresh Pet.
Well, for Providence, they needed to win the battle of the boards. They have. They've allowed a couple of second shots, but a good job on the glass. Make threes. Oh, they're on fire now, no doubt. St. John's keep up the pressure. They had 21 points off 19 turnovers, but they haven't had a turnover in the last 3-4 minutes. Zuby Ejiofor, 13 points in the lane.
Jabri Abdur-Rahim, 8 3-pointers, the most for any Big East player this season.
I mean, he's been on fire. He's made some open ones. He's made some tough ones. He's just feeling it. And that last one that he made was because Davon Smith lunged, as you saw there, for a steal, and that allowed him to do that. You need to stay home on this guy and don't gamble right now.
Rick Pitino used his final timeout right there. Couldn't wait for the media timeout so he could get Richmond back in. Meanwhile, St. Joe's and Loyola Chicago now streaming on the CBS Sports app and cbssports.com/CBSSN.
Lewis did not want to shoot that three.
Ejiofor, baseline, no, Lewis, rebound, and before the shot, a foul on the floor against the Friars.
Providence, number 14, Corey Floyd Jr.
Foul is on Corey Floyd.
18 fouls on the Friars.
His second.
And that's what R.J. Lewis does, though. He goes to the offensive glass in key situations. We saw him do it against Villanova. That's what he was in there now. It was a good thing they fouled him.
A 1-and-1 for Lewis. When these two teams met back in December, Providence led by as many as 16. St. John's came back to win. In this one today, St. John's led by as many as 19 points. And Kim English and the Friars looking to return the favor. One out of two for Lewis, who tries to save it. And they're saying he was pushed out. A foul on Providence.
Wow.
Bensley Joseph commits the foul.
That's a foul. He didn't mean to do it, but that's why Lewis ends up out of bounds.
So Lewis will go right back to the line with a 1-and-1.
But the bottom line is they miss a free throw and they don't get the rebound.
Tim English telling his team, when you get the ball, push.
That's short.
Lewis misses, rebound, grabbed by Abdur-Rahim.
They almost didn't get that one either.
1:50 to go. A 2-point St. John's advantage.
Well, they've got Scott, who's got good size, on Abdur-Rahim. Oh, he's open.
8 on the shot clock. Poked away by Ejiofor. Ejiofor the steal. Ejiofor rejected. Rebound Lewis. No, but a foul. What a block by Asandiko. But St. John's was able to grab the loose ball.
That was a big-time block. I mean, Asandiko, that was a tough turnover that he has here. Ejiofor does a great job of just tapping it away. And then who else? R.J. Lewis. He's always there in these kind of situations. That's a great block. He's always there in these kind of situations to get the offensive rebound.
A 2-point game, and Lewis is right back at the free throw line.
St. John's number 12, R.J. Lewis Jr. Shooting 2.
And now 2 shots. In the first meeting between these two schools, St. John's was 11 of 26 from the free throw line. They've done a much better job today, 9 out of 13. One more for Lewis, trying to make it a 2-possession game. No, and the rebound to Pierre.
They just got to get, he's going to go by him.
Joseph, that three won't go, but Smith could not grab the rebound. Had it in his hand, and it went out of bounds.
Yeah, Bensley Joseph, 0 for 7 from the field in this game. And Lewis tripped. He got a decent one off.
Returning for the Friars, number 4, Justin Fernandez.
Fernandez back in as Corey Floyd heads out.
Opting for the better three-point shooter, even though Corey Floyd made a big one not long ago.
Chance of defense from the St. John's fans here at Madison Square Garden. Sandigo has to track it down. Oh, he didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to do that.
He's able to save it to Joseph.
Well, that was a travel by Fernandez.
Pierre going at Richmond. Pierre for 2.
And you don't have to foul. You're down 1. You're going to get the ball back. You need a stop and a rebound. You St. John's, you got a guy like Kadari Richmond who's a playmaker.
Most of the Garden on its feet. 40 seconds to go. Lewis, a jumper. Good!
They created the mismatch, and Sandogo was on him, and he just took him.
Joseph for the tie. Yes! We are tied! Tied at 66! Providence calls timeout with 32 seconds on the clock.
I like the timeout there. Set up your defense. That was a good timeout by Kim English, my opinion. I mean, R.J. Lewis, this guy inside the three-point line, and outside he's been good too. But Bensley Joseph makes his first basket of the game.
He was 0 for 7 from the floor before that three-pointer tied the game at 66. A 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, and might we have another buzzer beater? This was the ending up in Providence back in December. Joseph hit a big 3, and then tied at 70, edge of 4, the offensive rebound, the putback as time expires.
And now, in this situation, Andrew, they're gonna run this thing down as far as they can. Take a shot with 5-6 seconds to go. Hope for the offensive rebound. Providence, if they get the ball with 4 seconds to go, there's a 2.3 differential on the clock. They'll have a chance, but that's why St. John's got to run this thing as close to 0 on the shot clock as they can to make sure that they can't lose this game and it goes to overtime.
Another tight game for the Friars. They've been in a few of them this year.
And you know, here's what you got to look out for. That Providence switches, and they end up with a small guy on edge of 4 on the shot, and he can't get the rebound. That's what they have to look out for. It'd be interesting if they're going to switch all these screens and risk giving St. John's an offensive rebound with a mismatch.
A Garden matinee between Rick Pitino and 15th-ranked St. John's and the Providence Friars, who trailed by as many as 19. Providence on a 32-13 run.
And you know this is probably going to go to R.J. Lewis. They get the switch, he does his thing, and he pulls up from 12 feet. That's what he's been doing.
Neither team has a timeout. Neither team has a foul to give. Final 25 seconds.
Yeah, they just want to run this down to probably 6 to give them time for an offensive rebound.
Kadari Richmond, who's had a big day, 22 points with 8 seconds left. Now he's going to go. Richmond fighting through Pierre. Richmond from the free throw line. Good! Good! St. John's by 2. Joseph at midcourt. Joseph for the win. No good! St. John's wins its 8th in a row. On the first day of February, a March feel at Madison Square Garden. Another look.
Well, you kind of knew it's either R.J. Lewis or Kadari. I tell you, I knew that was going in. When I saw how high he jumped on this shot, he was elevated. He was like, this is going in. What a great play.
And then Joseph, who hit the 3 a moment ago, had an opportunity from midcourt. Lewis playing some defense.
Probably could have taken another bounce there before he shot it, but what are you going to do?
Kadari Richmond, 24 points, a new Red Storm season high to go along with 8 rebounds and 8 assists. And St. John's, for the moment, has the sole top spot in the Big East standings. Once again, our final score, St. John's 68, Providence 66. For Steve Lapis, AJ Ross, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now let's head you out to the Windy City, St. Joe's in Loyola, Chicago.